Gemini makes me feel alive. Wake me up, shake me up. They say all that you do is lie. There's a side of you pulls me into you. Got that way of showing me that you're bad news. Oh, Gemini makes me feel alive. Wake me up, shake me up. They say all that you do is lie. All that you do is lie. All that you do is lie. Tonight. Up in the air. That's where you take me, I swear. I always knew that you would be a key of truth or dare. Oh, Gemini makes me feel alive. Wake me up, shake me up. They say all that you do is lie. There's a side of you pulls me into you. Got that way of showing me that you're bad news. Oh, Gemini makes me feel alive. Wake me up, shake me up. They say all that you do is lie. Gemini, all that you do is lie. All you do is lie.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome into the Brooklyn Cafe. You make me laugh. On a beautiful Wednesday, happy hump day.
Hump day.
You know, I'm walking around with this. I can't believe that it's 2 shows and done.
I know.
2 shows and done. This is impossible.
You know,
Impossible.
do you remember the name of it?
It's right here.
What's it say?
Boundless Virtuoso.
Yeah. Boundless Virtuosity. What a great
You're
event.
such a show off, you know that? You can speak the English language
No,
really nicely.
he just told me what it was.
But this is so cool. Went to see this. The kids went to see this last night. I cannot believe that there is an amphitheater at Spanish River. No,
Spanish
Yamato.
River Church on Yamato.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of it? You been there?
Spanish River Church.
I gotta tell you, out of 10 people, 8 of them don't know anything about this place. This place is gorgeous.
We have to promote it. The shows
I
are
want to get on the
tremendous.
board.
You should.
So they had this show. The gentleman was here because he's the uncle to one of our producers. And he sang in here, lit up the place. And then we went to the show, which is just magnificent. So I was going to jump on here and say, you know, get your tickets. I would go see this again. Get your tickets. But there's only 2 shows.
2 and done, I know.
And he's going back to New York.
He's going back tomorrow. But what a great event it was.
Very nice. But I want to say thank you in the bottom of my heart because we were their guests on this product.
You got to check out the Spanish River concert series. The next one is February 13th and 14th. It's celebrating 75 years of Israel. The music, it says, from Joseph to Tevye. So everything in between, they're going to be celebrating right at Spanish River Church on Yamato and St. Andrews. Unbelievable venue. The tickets are affordable. The theater is spectacular. There's culture right here in our backyard.
Culture, I feel so cultured.
20-piece orchestra. Did you realize we had a 20-piece orchestra right here in Boca?
I didn't even realize that there was an amphitheater in Boca.
I
had
it's
no
amazing.
idea. And it holds about
About
1,000 people? I mean, it's big. It's nice.
So-
Not to him. He said it was a little quaint.
A nice Valentine's Day
But I
gift.
want to set it up because our first guest, who's on the time crunch, actually we got invited to his table at the Leeds program. And I got to tell you something. I don't want to tell people about Leeds anymore. There's too many people.
It's a little crowded.
It's like 400 people now. When we went there, it was only 300. Now it's like 400, standing room only. And I asked Pastor Bill, I says, you need a bigger boat. He says, yeah.
Now they're going to
we
put
do.
9 people at a table.
For just this month, which we couldn't get tickets to, February.
But Barry Siegel of the Siegel Law Group was gracious enough to invite us to be part of their table, which is right up front and center on our first soiree into Boca City Lead. And what an amazing group it was. And it was a pleasure to meet Barry and his wife Maria and David, and Renee brought us in. Great group of people.
And Barry's is somebody. People know Barry in the community, okay? I mean, he's not going to say it, but I will. He's on a morning show at our home base at Vic's Canelas VCMG Live. He's on King's show in the morning and everything else, but he's done a whole lot for the community. He's been out there. He was gracious enough to introduce us to that whole setting, which in my estimation changed the way we do business and the people we talk to, and this whole thing has gone. So I don't know how you got him here, because this guy is really busy.
Well, he's got a great marketing team. Siegel Law Group, estate planning, elder law, probate, and trust administration. It's everything we all need. I actually have to do that tomorrow, and I was like, oh, I know. You know, we're right in that sandwich demographic of, and I was telling Barry,
let's move on.
Kids, parents, things you have to take care of and get everything in place as things change. You want to make sure that all your documents are in place.
Yeah, but you're doing it the right way. Freddie no do the right way. Freddie did it the other way, and it's a living hell.
So let's talk to Barry. Barry, welcome. Barry Siegel of the Siegel Law Group right here in Boca Raton, a new beautiful office they've opened. We're going to introduce Barry. Let's talk about the importance of estate planning, what we need to do, and if we don't do it, we end up in probate. So,
Sure.
Been there.
Thank you. First of all, Dawn and Freddie, thank you so much for having me here and inviting me to be a guest on your show. And I love the studio. I love all the beautiful art that's here. This is a great place. It's very interesting. I'm glad I got to see it. And I loved having you at the Boca City Lead. It's a great event here. Promotes community and within our business community. And and maybe we'll even have space at the next one if you guys don't have a table or tickets. So
well,
love to have
thank
you. So to answer your question about the importance of estate planning, we're talking about planning our legacies. We're talking about making sure that your wishes are coming true. And there's a difference between just getting it done and getting it done properly, okay? Because you can go anywhere. You can go to online. You can do one of those online estate plans. You can go to some attorney who does a little bit of everything and get a set of documents, but do you really know what it is that you have? And you may not ever know what you have until it's too late. And it's so important to make sure that you have the proper planning. Now, the proper planning is going to be different for different people and different families. Everybody's situation is going to be different. There are different goals, different wishes, different size estates, different family scenarios. So that is why what we do in our office is we will do a free consultation with clients or potential clients who want to get their planning done. So we will go over their goals, go over their family situation, go over their estate, so the proper planning and suggestions can be made. And so I'll give you some examples of some of the things that people have as goals when it comes to estate planning. One of the big ones is that people want to avoid probate. And the thing that I found is that most people don't even know what it is. They just know it's something that they want to avoid, or they heard they were supposed to avoid. Probate is going to court. It's a court process where your estate goes through a verification process, and it's very time consuming. It can take a long time, let's say 9 months to 2 years, typically, to go through the process before your loved ones even receive the assets. It could be very expensive. You could be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the cost of probate, way more than it would cost to avoid it. and you're leaving a mess behind for the people that you love. So people don't want to go through probate. And another court process that people don't want to go through is guardianship, which is very similar to probate. But when you're going through a guardianship, that's while you're alive but incapacitated. So when you're setting up a revocable living trust, you can set up your estate plan in such a way to avoid court, to avoid guardianship, to avoid probate, and not leave a mess behind, not have to spend all this extra money, and to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So that right there, for people who want to avoid those things, that's reason number one why setting up a revocable living trust would be helpful to set up somebody's legacy.
Barry,
but there's a
let me
lot
ask
more
you-
to that. Yes.
Let me ask you, revocable living trust versus irrevocable living trust, because I understand it's over 11.6 million that things start getting taxed. So anything under that, does it really need to be in a trust?
Well, yes, there's a difference between estate planning and estate tax planning. And years ago, as the estate tax exemption continued to climb, and when we say an estate tax exemption, think of it as a coupon against the estate tax. So right now, let's just say it's roughly $12 million per spouse. So somebody would have to have north of $12 million or to have an estate tax problem if they're single, or double that if they're married. So people who are going to do estate tax planning, one of the tools in the toolbox is to set up an irrevocable trust that generally you put life insurance into it, and that can help offset the estate taxes. However, for most people, that's not an issue, but the revocable living trust, like I said before, it helps, number one, avoid probate, number two, avoid guardianship, but it also has other benefits as well, and here's one of the key ones. It's called bloodline planning and bloodline protection. So let me explain to you. So for example, let's say we have a married couple, and they have, let's say they have 2 children. Let's say both children are adults, they're married, and they each have 2 children. Typical, straightforward scenario. And let's say they set up their estate plan to take care of each other, and then when the survivor passes, everything goes down to the kids. But what we find when we review people's estate plans, and we do that for free, anybody who wants to come in and have their estate plan reviewed, we will do that at no charge. And when we do that, very often we're going to find that they did what's called an outright distribution to their children. So what that means is, let's say the trust section, the disposition section says that they're leaving everything directly to their children. It may say the words per stirpes, which is a Latin term, which just means it does go down the bloodline, but that's if the child predeceases the parent. So these are outright distributions to the children, and what that means is it's going to them directly in their name. So let's just say they have a son who's married and has 2 kids, and they're leaving half the estate to the son and let's say half to the daughter. The half that's going to the son is going to the son in his name. So it goes to the son. He takes that money. Let's say everything is passed on. Let's just say it's all liquid to make it easy. He gets a check for half of the estate, and it goes into his name. Now, he's married. So what are the chances, number one, that those assets go into a joint account with the spouse? So now those assets are joint assets, and what happens if those two happen to get divorced? The divorce rate, by the way, is almost 60%, about 58% and change is the last I saw. So there's a better than average chance, better than equal chance that there will be a divorce, and that spouse, that future ex-daughter-in-law in this example, is going to walk away with half of the assets that they left to their son. Yet that's not what the client said they wanted when they came in to see the attorney. That's
Barry,
issue number one, yes.
This was described to me like a glass of water and some milk. Here's your account, is your water. The milk is the check you're going to get from your parents or family members. As soon as you pour a drop of that milk into the water, it is now commingled assets. And there is no way to disseminate or discern what comes out or what was spent, right? You put in $100,000, you bought groceries for $100. What's left? Was that $100 from your account? Was it from their account? I was told you take that milk money, literally, and you put it in a separate account in your name. Is that in fact true?
Well, ideally, if somebody is going to set this up in a way so that it's going to stay in the family bloodline and not get commingled and mix the milk and the water. What you do is you set it up so that the assets go to the child, let's say to the son and the daughter, in a sub-trust that's set up in the parents' revocable living trust. So these little baby trusts pop out upon their deaths, and now the asset goes into this trust, and now the asset doesn't get commingled with the spouse, and now we don't have to worry about future ex-son-in-law or daughter-in-law taking half of the assets upon a divorce. But another thing that can happen as well is those assets can get commingled with the spouse, but what if the spouse doesn't get divorced? What if our client's child predeceases the spouse, and now those assets were commingled? The assets now go to the surviving spouse, the in-law. The in-law now has it all, and what are they going to do? They may end up getting remarried. Now they commingle the assets with the new spouse. They die next. The new spouse, the one who replaced your child, now has everything.
Oh my
Do you think that person replacing your child is going to leave those assets to my client's grandchildren, or are they going to leave it to their own kids? And so you see there's a tendency, if you don't set it up properly, where assets move out of our bloodline into other people's bloodlines, and in an unintentional way. So those are unintentional errors, and our job is to help clients keep the assets in their family bloodline, avoid probate and the headaches of guardianship. And so those are some of the key things that a revocable living trust can do.
Wow. All right, we got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, there's so many things to talk about: wills, estates, what's the difference, and how to make sure all your assets are protected. Get your paperwork together with the Siegel Law Group, 8 locations in South Florida and virtual anywhere in the state. Barry's going to stay with us on the other side of this commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, Contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Yeah, no.
And we're back.
And we're back. Wills and Estates, we're talking elder care. We're here with Barry Siegel of the Siegel Law Group. 8 locations in the Florida area. He'll do virtual consultations anywhere in the state of Florida, located right here in Boca Raton. And we're very fortunate to have him sitting right here in our studio at the Brooklyn Cafe and Amp Media Studios, talking about wills and estates, wills and trusts. So Barry, what is the difference between a will, a trust, and all the other paperwork that we need to set up? We need living wills, right? There's the will, living will, a litany of pages.
Sure.
Where do we start?
Okay, well, your first question was, what's the difference between a will and a trust? Well, before I tell you the difference, I'll tell you what's similar. Both of them are legal documents that say who gets your stuff and who's going to be in charge of the process of administering the process after your death. That's where the similarities end. So, for example, a will becomes effective only when you die. That means that it's not going to help you during your lifetime, whereas a revocable living trust helps you during your lifetime. As I mentioned in your earlier segment, that the living trust helps you avoid guardianship. So if you lose your mental capacity during your lifetime and you have a trust, so your assets are in your trust, your successor trustee can step right in and take over, and we don't have to deal, in most cases, with the guardianship process. That's key difference number one. The other key difference is when you have a will, the assets are still in your name and they're going to be in your estate when you pass. And now they're going to go through the court process of probate, which we understand that we want to avoid because of the time, money, and aggravation involved. When your assets are in your trust and funded in your trust, they are in the trust. It's an entity, and they will avoid the probate process. And that's one of the key things that people forget to do, whether they're doing a trust with an attorney, whether they're doing the trust through some online do-it-yourself method. A lot of times people miss funding their trust, and that is so important. And that's one of the things that we make sure we want our clients to not only fund their trust now when they're in the time of the process where they're doing the trust, but we invite our clients back in every 3 years for a free review. And part of that conversation is going to be, besides what's changed financially, personally, and so on, is to ask them, have you acquired any new assets in the last 3 years? Have you put them in the trust? And that way we can make sure that they don't forget to put stuff in their trust. Now, the other thing you asked me about, what are some of the other documents that are important to have in an overall great estate plan? Now, one of the most important documents that anybody can have is a power of attorney. And powers of attorney are not all the same. You know, we've all seen those legal documents where they're one page and then the signatures. There's some that can be very long. It's not really about the length of it. It's about what it says. And the power of attorney, I'm going to leave it short and simple on this, but I can go on for an hour on this, could be the difference between protecting everything and losing everything. One of the things that we do as not only an estate planning law firm, but as an elder law firm is we help people protect their assets from one of the biggest risks they have as they enter their retirement years, and that's the cost of long-term care. Now, if you don't have long-term care insurance, which I highly advise that you do if you can get it and you can afford it, but most people don't have it, so that leaves two options to pay for it. One is to spend your own money, or the third option is to get government benefits. The problem with spending your own money is the cost of long-term care, home care, assisted living, nursing homes can be so expensive that your money can be spent down very quickly, and all this money that you worked for your whole life and that you sacrificed and you saved, it could all be gone. And if you have a spouse, you could leave your surviving spouse with nothing. So we're able to help people qualify for government benefits like Medicaid and government benefits such as VA benefits. However, here's where I'm getting to the power of attorney. The language in your power of attorney can make the difference between being able to qualify for these benefits to pay for your care so you don't go broke. And if you have the wrong power of attorney, that could be the thing that could cause you to not be able to get these benefits and unfortunately potentially spend down your assets and go broke.
Would that be because if you're trying, and I don't know, I'm just guessing, if you're trying to look for Medicaid, there's a certain threshold of income or assets that you have, and if I'm someone's power of attorney and they're going to leave me all of this money that I can't then maybe be eligible for Medicaid?
Yeah, you're on the right track there. To qualify for Medicaid, there's certain criteria that you have to have the medical need where you need help with activities of daily living. You need to meet their income thresholds and their asset thresholds. So the power of attorney deals with that income threshold. And if you're over the income threshold, which was just raised to just a little over $2,700, I think they raised it to $2,742 now, that's gross monthly income. And if your income is over that, there is a way around it, a type of trust that can be created to get around that where you could still qualify. That's the good news. Now, if you have your mental capacity, you could sign it. But what if you don't have your mental capacity? If you don't have your mental capacity, we all agree that you cannot sign a legal document, right? So then that's where we look to the power of attorney. Now, you could have a power of attorney, and it could say that you name your son, your daughter, your spouse, whoever, to step in and sign your name. But if that power of attorney doesn't have specific language naming that person and giving them the right to create this type of legal document called an income trust, Medicaid will not accept it. And now we're back to square one where you don't qualify, game over, we cannot qualify you, and now you're on your own. You have to spend your own assets instead of having Medicaid help out. And let me give you an example. Nursing homes. Nursing homes, we all have heard how expensive they are, but even assisted living and home care is very expensive. But nursing homes, you're looking at maybe $8,000 to $10,000 on the lower end and up to $14,000, $15,000 on the higher end a month. That's a lot of money. So just take $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year. Let's say an average nursing home stay is 3 years. Think about that kind of money, $360,000 to spend down when Medicaid could have covered the lion's share of that if we had only set things up in a way where we were prepared.
How long does it take, Barry, to convert assets, legally, obviously, to a Medicaid? Because there are ways, I know, around it with trusts and things of protecting your assets. It doesn't necessarily mean your assets are really this much, but somehow legally, this is how they show. What does it take? How much time? Is there a look back in the state of Florida?
Okay. Well, the process, if somebody's coming in to try to qualify for Medicaid, it generally can take about 3 to 6 months, the whole process. It's a long, drawn-out process. There is a look-back period. It's a 5-year look-back period. But what we do is we are doing things to plan to avoid that 5-year look-back. And in most cases, not every case, but in many cases, we can help people avoid that 5-year look-back. Now, one of the biggest reasons why people don't qualify and people can't get on Medicaid, and it's crazy that it's this, but this is it, because people think they have too much money and too much income and they don't even bother to get the right information. We get people who talk to their friends, their neighbors, their family, their even other professionals who just, they may be great at what they do, but, I don't give advice on things that I don't know. And sometimes people will give advice when they really don't know. And it's a shame because there are families that I know for a fact who could have qualified for Medicaid, but they got the wrong information and then it became too late. So best case scenario is not to wait until the moment when you actually need to qualify. The best case scenario is to pre-plan and come in, let us take a look at your situation, and there may be some things that you may need to do now so that you're ready to, in the future, if, God forbid, you or your family member need to qualify for Medicaid.
This is the reason you need to contact Barry at the Siegel Law Group, because if you download all this from the internet, you're not going to get what you need. It might say it on the top of it. You're not going to understand it, and the paperwork and all your assets and everything you've worked. That's the bottom line. You worked so hard your whole life to leave a legacy, to have a nice life for you and your family. And then if you end up having to spend it all on care at the end of your lifetime,
Right.
if there's another way around it, then it's a win-win, and you feel like all your hard work at least is now left to your family. And you can still get the proper care. Even if people qualify for Medicaid, they're not getting sub-care. They're getting as good a quality care, correct, Barry, than as anybody else who is actually paying for the cash.
That's the other myth. The first one is people think they have too much money and they cannot get qualified for Medicaid. That's myth number one. Myth number two is people think, oh, if I go on Medicaid, I'm going to be in some horrible facility, some place that no one would ever want to go to. Here's the real truth. The truth is there are good facilities that accept Medicaid and there are bad facilities that accept Medicaid, just as there are good facilities that accept private pay and bad facilities that accept private pay. So it's really a matter of doing your homework and doing everything that's necessary to find the right place for yourself or for your loved one. And again, a lot of those facilities do accept Medicaid.
How did you end up being an elder care attorney?
Okay. Well, it's because of an experience I had personally in my family. My grandmother, back when I was in college, or early in my college life, she became ill. She had a lot of different issues health-wise, and she ended up having to go to a nursing home after my grandfather passed away. And she was in the nursing home. I certainly didn't know any better at the time, nor did my family. And we were told something that a lot of people get told even today. They're told by someone at the facility that what they should do is to spend down their assets until their assets are below $2,000, and then they would help them qualify for Medicaid. And we didn't know any better, so that's exactly what we did. And she spent down her assets. She wasn't wealthy, but she had some funds as security. And her assets went down below $2,000. She got on Medicaid. And here's the thing. Later on, after I became an attorney here in Florida and learned about this type of planning, I realized, my gosh, my grandmother could have protected her assets. And here she was alone. Of course, we visited her, but you spent a lot of time alone. She was ill. And to not have that security of her own assets to have, and then to worry about being a burden on the family, it's just something that when I look back, I wish I had known about this for her. And so now, when I realized that this type of planning was available for people and we could help people in that exact situation, it became something that I really wanted to do. And that's kind of how I first started to become interested in elder law and estate planning.
A labor of love. And that's what you want. You want someone like Barry Siegel to say, you know what? If this were my family and this is what happened to my grandmother, I want to make sure this does not happen to your mother, your father, your grandmother, to make sure those funds are protected and they stay within the bloodline lineage. It's funny, we talked about that the other day.
We do. And you always want to deal with a professional that you're just not a number. He's going to talk to you, he's going to explain to you what your options are and everything else. And again, and even our next guest do the same thing, which is really vital because everything today is about trust, lack thereof. There's all sorts of good, bad, and indifferent people, but Barry's not going to hide anywhere. I mean, he's a well-known fact of who he is in the community. He's not shyster and shyster.
An expert with Beasley, WNN, Money Talk 1470, and now with VCMG Live.
And if you want to play ball with the most knowledgeable person in the room, then that's what you're going to do. Make your appointment. You know, he's offering you an opportunity to come and talk. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. But you're going to be surprised at how much you will save.
And before we go to commercial break, Barry, how often should people reevaluate their estate plans?
Well, and again, thank you so much for having me on the show. This has been a great experience and given me the opportunity to talk about these important issues to your listeners and viewers. We suggest every 3 to 5 years. We build it into our process so that every 3 years we call our clients to ask them to come in for a free review. And that way, it meets with our goal. Our goal is that our clients have an estate plan that's going to work. And many things can happen as time goes by. The moment the ink dries when you sign your documents, life continues. So your finances change. Your personal situation may change in your family. Laws change, and of course we inform our clients if anything is going to affect them as far as law changes. So it's an ongoing process with the goal to make sure that the estate plan that our clients have at the time that they need it is going to work for them, and that they're going to have an estate plan that is going to be set up so they can protect their assets, so if they or their spouse need care, they don't lose it all, and they have the legacy to leave to their loved ones in a way that they don't lose it if there's a divorce or a lawsuit or a creditor or people die in the wrong order and get remarried. All of those things are what our goals are for our clients, and that's what we've been doing for almost 25 years.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Contact Barry,
Thank you.
contact the Siegel Law Group toll free, 866-593-2250, located right here on Glades Road, 2499 Glades Road. Barry, it has been, that's not it?
Nope. Shall I give the number?
Please.
Okay. Well, we have our main number is 561-955-8515, and we also have a 800 number, 855-FLA-3782.
Okay.
That was our fax number.
And do
Okay,
we
that's
have
the
the
fax.
address to correct the address to the place?
2499 Glades Road?
Nope, that's our old
That's the
address.
old
We just
address?
moved
Right.
into a new office.
Okay.
Our new office address is 2500 North Military Trail. It's right at the intersection of Military and Butts, Suite 470. And I'll give you our website as well, www.siegellawgroup.com, SIEGEL lawgroup.com. Thank you.
You're right down the street from my house. That's why I knew you moved, because your wife told me you were moving
Right down the street.
right down the street, yeah.
All right, Barry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Get your
Good stuff.
documents in place. It is never too early to start protecting all of your assets. This way you know everything that's being taken care of, as well as your living will itself.
Absolutely, get it
Healthcare,
done.
healthcare benefits, everything. Contact Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more on our midday show. Stay tuned. Give us a call with any questions. 888-994-4995, Studio A. And Frank writes in and he says, if you give money or leave money to a minor child, then guardianship needs to be established. So please make sure you get those papers together, because what he went through with his son being left money, he said was an absolute nightmare.
They didn't walk it through.
They did not walk it through. They left money to his minor son, and then what he had to go through and the expense incurred of guardianship, even though they were his parents, was crazy.
It's crazy.
All right, stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Good News segment brought to you by Zardia.
Thank you so much for that fantastic introduction, Josh. My name is Zaria, and today I'll be bringing you good news that I found on the internet. So the beavers named Hazel and Chompy were reintroduced to English County. They're the first beavers to be there in like 400 years. That's good. Wow! Next. With Chompy? I have others. Do you want me to keep going on Chompy?
No, keep going to the next segment.
Ah, yes. I love this one.
Talk about it.
You're rushing me for. So, railroad workers were able to save a raccoon after its fur got frozen to the track. Yeah. I don't know exactly what they did. I just know that they were able to remove him from his hair that got frozen. The poor thing is just straddling.
Where was this?
That's a good question.
On the Good News app?
Yeah. Okay. There was a 90-year-old woodworker named Stuart Grant that built his own hobbit house in Tomic, North Scotland. He lives mainly off the grid with like no internet and like no phone. He doesn't even drive anymore because of his age. But because his house was posted on like places to visit, right? When you're in North Scotland, he's getting a lot of visitors, and he likes that because he likes interacting with other people and getting to know other people, so he's having a good time. Yep, and that's the good news for today.
What? They don't call her quality for nothing.
You have any good news of the day?
Me? No, but I just saw some.
It's National Opposite Day. Do you ever wear two different socks
Yes.
for good luck?
No.
Just because
Just
you can?
because I didn't have two clean socks, so I sort of matched two dirty ones and we went
He's
down.
showing us the Eagles.
No,
Good
what's
news.
the good news? The Eagles lose to the 49ers.
They're in the NFC Champions. Who are
I'm
they
betting
playing?
49ers.
You're betting for? Oh, I can't. I got to go for the Eagles.
You're such a traitor. Got to bet for the 49ers. And I got to bet for the other side. I got to bet. I think that the Bengals beat the Chiefs. I think the Bengals beat the Chiefs.
So you think it's going to be Bengals and 49ers in the Super Bowl?
I would like it, but it ain't going to happen.
Why?
Because I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Unfortunately. I hate saying that because the Phillies came out of no place. And made it in their series. And it all started, we went to the Miami Marlins Met game. And this guy went with me, and they changed. We lost an extra inning, the Mets. And he tells me, watch this. He turns around and says, watch this, and they hit home run, extra innings, and we lose. And everything changed from that moment on. The Mets didn't win anymore. They ended up losing to the Padres. And here comes the Phillies out of nowhere, right? Then I have to deal with this guy and the Eagles. He's not even from Philly.
And the 76ers are the second best team in the East right now.
And it just
I'm not going to talk
continues.
about the Flyers, but...
And it continues, and it continues. Anyway.
Have a hot
Moving
dog.
on.
Right? Philadelphia, is it a hot dog or we get the pretzels from Philly? Pretzels.
Pretzels.
Pretzels. All right, our next segment comes to us from Joey from Coffee News.
Joey from Coffee News.
All-in-one benefit group.
Let's see.
What are we doing?
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
That's a good question, actually.
Straight ahead.
How many cameras did you set up?
2.
And did you tell them which one to look at? And as you can tell, we're having a wonderful day here in the cafe.
We've got Charles Vasquez and Nick Basto of All-in-One Benefit Group. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you for having us.
It is our pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate you having us here. We heard about you
From Joey.
Joey.
Let's make sure your mics are on. And then we're going to...
Make sure they both have green lights.
There we go.
Well, well-oiled machine.
There
Well,
we
welcome
go.
again back to the show.
Are we on now? Are we on?
Now we're on.
Are we
We're back.
good?
Welcome
back to the
Perfect.
show.
Great. All right. No, so basically, we come from Joey from the Coffee News, and he recommended us to you guys, and we think this would be a great opportunity for us to get exposure and to let the community know a little bit about what we do, who we are, and how we can further help everybody as much as we can. But basically, All-in-One Benefits Group is a health insurance agency, to what people know in our industry, a field marketing organization. We just market. We're marketing, and we're contracted by big insurance companies like Humana, United Healthcare, Simply, Anthem, and we have contracts with those companies to market their products. And what do? We recruit other agents to market their products and basically help out the community. So that's basically what we do, and yeah.
Is it in health?
Yes, this is in health. So we primarily deal with the older demographic population, and we're contracted and licensed in several different states. So, yeah.
We're
So it's
mostly
not-
focused in South Florida, though.
Yeah.
So it's not life insurance, it's health
No, it's
insurance.
health.
It's health insurance.
But
It's
the
health
older
insurance.
demographic, we're talking Medicare or?
Correct. So we are talking Medicare. So that is 65 years or older. We do insurance policies for the younger generation as well, but our bread and butter, and we primarily focus on the Medicare, 65 and older.
You look at the different, because there's straight Medicare, right?
Correct.
Which is government straight
Correct.
Medicare. And then you've
Correct.
got these Medicare HMOs. Is
Correct.
that what we're talking about?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's exactly what we do. So we market these HMOs and help them get membership, and we make a fee for marketing these products.
And why would people choose a Medicare HMO over straight Medicare?
That's a great question. You want to tap in and see
So
what
yeah,
give an
with
explanation
straight
on that?
Medicare, there's a thing where your Part A is the hospital. For example, if you were to fall in the hospital and you had a huge bill, for example, $100,000, your Part A will cover 80%, but the 20% you will have to take that full on. And if you talk about a $100,000 bill, I wouldn't want to pay $20,000. So our job is to help you get a plan that best fits your needs in all the categories. We don't look just at one, whether it's dental, vision, hearing, medications, primary care doctor or specialist. We want to make sure that we get the best coverage for you so that if you were to incur any cost, the insurance would take most of it and help you out on the back end.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of that, your question, why would somebody choose a private insurance HMO versus original Medicare? Well, great question. Original Medicare doesn't have, a limit to what you pay out of pocket. So when he says that 20%, you are entitled to that 20%. The great thing about the Medicare is what they call that Medicare Advantage for these HMOs is that there is a limit. You don't pay, a certain limit after. It's what's called a maximum out of pocket. So Medicare Advantage covers those gaps. So, and at the same time, it's an all-in-one policy. So you're not only you're getting that gap covered, but you're also getting vision coverage, you're getting dental coverage, you're getting prescription drug coverage, and these are all things that is not offered through original Medicare. And the best thing about it is that it doesn't cost anything extra. So we're contracted with these companies, and we're just basically an extension to what Medicare is. We're here to help the community, help every individual out here to find the best plan depending on their needs, depending on their doctors and their medications, and making sure that they're getting the best out of their benefits. So the Medicaid, that is a big thing that we deal with a lot. And I know Barry earlier in the segment was talking about applying and getting the Medicaid for these individuals that cannot afford to pay these premiums and afford to pay these co-insurance and co-pay. So Medicaid kicks in and helps these individuals pay these gaps. So
Yeah.
it's a big help. We're always available to help anybody in need, honestly, and that's what we get a kick out of it. We're very hands-on, and we get a serious gratification when we're helping out people that have needs.
Can you use the same doctors?
Absolutely. So that's where we come in, and that's where the agents that we recruit, that we train them to make sure that they're finding plans on their needs. So if there is a need in having a plan that accepts their cardiologist or their OBGYN, for example, we're making sure that we're finding the best plan based on their needs. Doctors, medications, do they need an implant? We're going to find the best plan for them based on their needs.
Okay, let me understand this, because I'm a little slow in the head.
No worries.
This is Medicaid, not Medicare.
This is Medicare. Well, this is Medicare, but a lot of people that do have Medicaid are what we refer to as dual eligible. So they're eligible for Medicaid and Medicare. And when they're eligible for those two programs, they get
Additional benefits.
additional benefits. And some of the additional benefits that they may qualify for example, is get all the co-pays for free, no premiums. A lot of the insurance companies are even offering a healthy food card where they can go into a Walmart, a Publix, and get groceries just like food stamps. So not only do they get their food stamps, but they're getting these additional benefits that food stamps is not offering, that original Medicare is not offering. So we're just here to help them with these needs, and we
So
know
that's
very
A and B?
Correct. That's
If
A
you
and
got
B.
both, it's the best world, right?
Yes,
But
correct.
a lot of people only get A. Only have A? Only, how does it work? How do you know if you're A, B, C, D, E, F, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, you want to talk
so
about.
there's an enrollment process to that.
Okay.
A lot of people, they just get their Part A automatically from getting those 40 credits of working here in the U.S. But for example, if you're still working and you don't want it, you turn 65, you have 3 months before, the month of your birthday, and 3 months after to enroll your Part B. If you're still working and you still want to get your employer coverage, that's okay. You can hold off on the Part B, but once you retire, you have around 6 to 8 months to enroll in your Part B through Social Security. Now, the ones who don't care for their employer coverage, you do want to hurry up and get your Part B 3 months before. We always advise get it out of the way quick. Because if you don't, you wait that 7 month period, you will have a 10% penalty for the rest of your life. And we
But you
want
don't
to get
have
them.
to take Medicare at 65, right? If you're still working and you've got private insurance, you don't have to do it. But
You don't
take a
have to
penalty?
get your Part B
Okay.
at the time where you're under your employer coverage. But if you wait, let's say you're not getting employer coverage. If you don't in those 7 month period get your Part B, you will get that penalty. You
And
will
if
be
you
excused
apply?
if you what's that?
If you apply, or you're just going to get the penalty?
Well, yeah, you have to apply. If you don't apply, you're going to get the penalty.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if I apply and I waited too long, then I'm going to pay a penalty.
Correct.
Unless you have employee insurance.
Unless you have your employer coverage.
So if I'm working, I'm 65, I'm working, I got group coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Should I apply for the B even though I'm not going to use it yet?
So yeah,
Go ahead.
that is totally dependent on, first of all, how much you're paying for your group coverage, because if you can get a cheaper policy, for example, Medicare this year is $164.90, the Part B. The Part A, like Nicholas said.
A month?
Correct.
Okay.
The Part A, like Nicholas said, once you incorporate 40 quarters or 10 years into taxes, you get that Part A for free. So the question is, how much are you paying for your group coverage? Is it, and how much are they covering? First of all, is it high deductible? Is it a high maximum out of pocket? That is totally dependent on the policy. So that's where we would come in and see what you have. What are your benefits? What is your deductible? Can we find you something better through Medicare Advantage? And if we do, then we do recommend you to get out of that group policy to get Medicare, because, for example, Medicare, there's no deductibles for Medicare. A very low maximum out of
premium either.
pockets and no premium. You're getting dental, you're getting vision. So it really depends on what you're looking for, what you need, and we definitely assess that once we have that one-on-one conversation, and you tell us a little bit more about yourself. So
Hold on. So you'll be paying the group coverage number, and then if you want B, you're going to be paying this 164.
Well, yeah, correct. You can't have both. So you have to pick one. You have to have the group coverage or the Medicare. So you do have to pick one. Like I said, we recommend always the Medicare because of the low deductibles, low maximum out of pockets. Not to mention that it comes with dental, it comes with vision coverage.
Does it change anything that the doctors are allowed to do to you? Such a crazy
no,
question.
actually, I personally believe that with the market nowadays, the quality of care, in my opinion, is better when you have Medicare.
Because you guarantee payment.
Correct, because and this is kind of, not a lot of people understand, the market of how Medicare and the private insurance companies work, but for the insurance companies pay a fixed amount to, for example, your primary doctor. That's whether you come or whether you don't come. So they're going to take care of you and make sure that you're healthy, because they don't want you, they want you healthy. That's not the case when it comes to, group or any other insurance, because it's more of a fee for service. You get paid for the visit. When it comes to Medicare Advantage, it's not so. So they're making sure they're calling you every 3 months, making sure that you're coming in, you're doing all your preventative exams, and plus, the primary doctors nowadays are required by CMS to do these quarterly checkups. You have to come and do, your yearly mammograms. You have to come in and do, your optometry visits and do your yearly physicals.
Blood work, things like that.
These are all mandatory things that Medicare is now making the primary or internal medicine doctors do, which is not the case when it comes to group and coverage and other insurances. So I
Hold
think
that thought. I got to process all this. We're going to take a commercial break because I'm glad I'm not 65 yet.
No, but I want
Because-
to talk about younger, how it affects, and we got stuff to
All
talk
right, more
about.
to talk about. We've got All-in-One Benefits Group, Charles and Nick joining us. More to come when we get back on the other side of this 1 o'clock hour.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to stephaniejaffeart.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 5-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-993-2180. That's 855-993-2180. Again, 855-993-2180.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
This segment of the Brooklyn Cafe Show is brought to you by Coffee News. News to be enjoyed over coffee.
You're funny. Yes, it is. This segment of the show is brought to you by Coffee News. Get your coffee groove on. Matter of fact, they had that little man thing that if you
Little
find
Joey?
it and you write in, you win 2 free tickets to the movie
Have
theater.
you ever found little Joey in here? Alana used to do that all the time.
I didn't look.
And then you get something new. Oh, look, there's a whole puzzle one here. Puzzler's Emporium.
I spoke to her.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was supposed to come on. She was supposed to call me back. Remember the time we had the giant puzzle?
I do.
With all the pieces, 90 pieces, and then we put
Huge.
we put all the interns to go in there.
It was like a 6 by 4 foot puzzle. It was huge.
They couldn't figure it out. And it had a message on it, so if you messed up, the words didn't come out, so you knew they did it wrong. So it was fun.
We've got
All right.
All-in-One Benefits Group joining us.
But I want to ask,
It's complicated.
I love all this stuff when you're 65. Is there something before 65 you can do to get some of the good stuff?
So unfortunately,
I hate that word.
That's where the money is. If you notice, a lot of the people that are paying taxes, there's a little percentage that goes towards Medicare. So unfortunately, there's so much funding for it, which is the reason why they're able to get all these benefits. So unfortunately,
Charles, can you just get closer to your mic,
sure.
please?
So unfortunately, those that are looking for these, all-in-one packet policies, it's not available. You have to get everything standalone, like a dental. If you're looking for dental or vision, you have to get those policies separately from your group coverage.
You guys, All-in-One Benefits. You can get dental, vision,
Health,
Medicare, health,
Medicare, correct.
even as a single person, because we're not doing group coverage, because you're 65, you may not be working. They're all individual plans.
Correct. So it depends on, like I said, what product. So when it has to do with Medicare, they can get an all-in-one policy that includes all of that. If they're getting something like a group policy, or maybe to what a lot of people know as Obamacare, you have to get those coverages separately.
And are there different companies, say Humana or Blue Cross, HMO, are there different organizations that sponsor them? You want some more water? Okay.
Yeah, so there is a lot of companies, and that is the great part about our company, All-in-One Benefits Group, is that we're not captive. We don't work for one company. We are contracted with, all the big insurance companies. So that is Aetna, that is United Healthcare, that's Humana, and so on and so forth. I can go on for hours
loves
talking
what he
about
does.
that.
Well, hold on. I got an example for you.
Sure.
And we won't use names.
Sure.
Shall remain nameless. So you got somebody who's on a group coverage, and the person on group coverage is going to retire.
Correct.
So that person is going to take and talk to you guys about doing their thing, which is great. The other person that was on the group coverage is not 65, no longer on the group plan, because you can't be on a group plan if you're retired, right?
Correct.
What's the alternative for that other person left out on Gilligan's Island? What can you do for that person?
So that person automatically qualifies for a period where they can now choose another plan on the marketplace.
So it's Cobra?
If people have Cobra, they can get Cobra, or they can just simply get Obamacare if they don't have Cobra.
What if they don't want Obamacare?
Well, unfortunately,
That's all there is?
There
That's
are
all
other
there is.
companies, there are insurance companies. You guys do only Medicare products, but you have somebody you can recommend someone that would write a single policy for people under the age of 65.
Well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, when it comes to single policies, the only way that you can go about that is through the marketplace, also known as Obamacare, or go through a group coverage policy.
So Obamacare is the only thing that they offer on the market. There is no Aetna that'll give you a private policy for health?
You can, but you have to go under a group policy.
Correct.
You can't have it just a
Correct.
single standalone.
Really?
Yeah, and we want to make this clear. Aetna, for example, or United Healthcare, and I know we talk too much about insurance companies, a lot of these companies are in the marketplace. So you can get an Obamacare with Aetna. You can get an
United is another big one,
Obamacare
too.
with United. So
Does it cover something more than, because Obamacare, I heard, doesn't really cover a whole lot.
yeah, so the Obamacare falls under what is known as the Affordable Care Act. So there is a threshold, just like Medicaid, that you need to meet for you to get affordable coverage. If you make more than the threshold, it doesn't become, affordable. It is kind of expensive, and the deductibles and copays are a little higher when it comes to
How
those.
did you guys end up in this line of business? Because to me, I hear insurance and my brain shuts down, and I have to actually focus on what you're doing. This is a niche market. You have to love what you do to sit and compare plans and policies, and this covers this, and your deductible is this, and your doctors are on this plan. You have to do this for every single client that comes to you.
So yeah, great question. We actually started as professional baseball players, and then from there, went into this type of world. But we started in marketing. So we're very close with a doctor's office that has a lot of people that are in Medicare and Obamacare. So through marketing, we saw all the needs that they were dealing with, whether it was, I need a doctor in network, I'm not happy with my benefits. I mean, the list goes on. We were hearing that year after year, and then from that, we thought it was, an amazing idea to get into the insurance world, because we already heard what are the needs. Now let's apply it and use those needs to find them the best plan that fits them. So that's how we got into it.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Wait a minute,
And
wait
then
a
there's
minute, wait a minute.
supplements
They were
and-
ball players,
I
and
know.
that's how they got into it. You guys make it sound like, I like chocolate and today I like vanilla. I mean, what drove you to this?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want
It's
to.
just, the huge need in the market. I mean, there's so many people that don't understand the benefits, the doctors that they actually need to be in their insurance for them to be seen in network and be able to see them in, their care. If your doctor's not in network, you're not going to be able to get the care that you actually need.
And most
So,
seniors
yeah,
spend a lot of days going to doctors.
That's their job.
And you need to make sure that your doctors are on the plan that you choose, and that's what's critical.
Yeah.
If you've had a doctor following you for 20 years, and all of a sudden you're on a plan and they're not on it, you either have to find a new doctor or you're paying out of pocket, which defeats everything that you're doing and trying to do.
Correct.
We're very focused to telling our agents and even ourselves when we meet with a client, we always let them know we're not just representing one plan. We have all the carriers. So we first want to hear what are your needs, and then from there pick the plan that's best for you and let you decide.
Yeah.
We're not here to just sell you one plan, and we would like forming relationships because through that we know their needs. We give them our personal phone number so that we can be in contact with them all the time.
Yeah.
I have clients that call me every day, but I love it because it's an actual need. A lot of these people, they don't have family with them anymore. They're lonely. They have no one to talk to. So we end up becoming really close with these clients, and
we're providing a service.
It's a huge need. A lot of them
Yeah.
don't know what to do, and we're like that extended hand to them in their care. So
Can you help anyone in any state or only Florida?
Well, any state, to be quite frank, we're licensed already in about 7 to 8 states at the moment. So not just Florida. We are open to other states, other markets.
You got to ask baseball, though. Did you play for the same team?
No.
No.
We
played.
did. We
Oh, yeah,
started
that's
in
true.
travel ball together down here in South Florida, so we knew each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I was better than him though.
He was really good. He was really good.
And then we went to high school together too for a year, so we played on the same team. So we go way back. And then we ended up going in the professional world where he got drafted by the Yankees, and then I went and got drafted by the White Sox. So
And what happened?
played for 7 years. It was a good run. Learned a lot about myself.
Wow.
Didn't make it to the majors, got to AA, but learned a lot about myself. Grew up quick.
Don't make it sound. Don't put
That's
cold water on it. The
amazing.
AA is something. That's amazing.
When you have the expectations that we have and the amount of years that we've sacrificed, when you don't get to that dream that you have for 20 plus years, you don't want to boast too much about those. It is an accomplishment, and we appreciated it and loved the experience, and we learned a lot from it. But we didn't, make it to the major league level that we would have, that we dreamed to make.
That's a huge accomplishment, but you lived your
Absolutely.
dream for that moment.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, many people don't ever have the opportunity to play. It's,
Well, this is what I wanted to
it
ask
comes
you.
once in a lifetime.
we
It's not-
sacrificed.
I wanted to ask you, you have brothers and sisters, cousins, family?
Yeah.
Any of them play for the White Sox?
None.
Any of them play for the Yankees?
None.
Do you understand what that means?
Oh,
when
yeah.
you look around and nobody's ever done what you've done, I don't care if you're single A, double A, triple A, it don't make a difference.
Yeah.
Somebody paid to come and watch you play.
Yeah.
You may have made $1 a game. Don't matter.
It's true.
You stepped on a field. You've done something. I've never come close to a AA ball player. Maybe for you, you didn't get there. For me, when you say the word Yankees, I play for the Yankees. Do you know what that means?
Oh, yeah.
To be able to just say that.
When did you play for the Yankees?
So I retired in 2018. So I played with the Yankees for about 4 years. I went a little bit of a different route than Nicholas. He was a star player. He was able to get drafted at high school. But I ended up going the college route. So I went to Broward College for 2 years. Then I was able to get a scholarship to go play at a Division I baseball Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee. And then from there, I took my journey on to play with Yankees and went to Staten Island and Virginia and some other places in the country to.
That's amazing.
How do you
play.
like the Staten Island Stadium?
It's fun.
Did you play across the bay at?
Oh yeah, I played
Mets?
against the Mets in Brooklyn, the beautiful
beautiful.
stadium. Yeah,
Wow.
those New York fans are a tough
We
crowd,
love it.
tough
We love
crowd.
our baseball. But I'm going to tell you, what an accomplishment. And you guys are giving back to the community to do what you do. This ain't every day. I mean, you guys don't realize, or maybe you do, but it's on all levels. What you do is tremendous.
Yeah.
And people are just talking to you about being in the system because you were in it. You didn't get to the major leagues, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
That's just a fact of the nature of the beast.
Yeah, we still have a lot of ex-teammates and friends that are in the major leagues, and so we know how it is. But there's a lot of experiences that you have during the minor leagues, and a lot of relationships that you'll cherish forever. So it was definitely once in a lifetime, an amazing time for our lives for sure.
Did you learn something in baseball, Nick, that you now carry into what you're doing and all-in-one benefits?
Absolutely. There's many things. First was my faith. I learned a lot about my faith. 2 was growing up quick because I left at 18, had never washed clothes, didn't cook, and I had to learn how to pay bills quick. So that was a rude awakening, but it was much needed. But the thing I learned the most too through all that was the hard work, the dedication, and not only that, serving others. What we're doing now is a lot of serving, so putting them before us, understanding what their needs are, how we can help, being always accessible on the phone because a lot of them have no one to talk to. So on a team, you're always looking after your teammate. And here it's kind of similar. I mean, you're still on a team. It's them with you and they rely on you. So it's focusing on their needs. How can we help them? And we're always accessible.
Yeah.
And Charles, how about you?
And to piggyback off that, I agree. I mean, the whole team, working with the team means everything to us because it's not, I'm sure you heard the phrase, there's no I in team, and that's so true. And we take that to this business, and we want to make sure that it's not about us. It's not about the sales. It's not about, making money. It's about serving the community and giving and finding a solution to those that are in need, especially the elderly, like Nicholas said, and he made a great point. There's a lot of them do not get to see their children, even in their own homes. They may live out of state or whatever the case may be, but we're just that extension to help them find and make those decisions that they need help with, and it's about them. It really is.
Wow.
You know, the trust level changes when you have guys that were involved in the game, especially for men. Because guys are going to talk to you and says, you were what? And let me buy you a beer, and everything changes, which is really important. And in this business, I've been doing it long enough, and you get a certain vibe about what's going on. And the dedication that you guys are talking about is major in the business world because you can rely on them doing the right thing by you. Now, I want to flip the script a little bit because you guys are also Latino, correct? You're Latin players, you're Latin businessmen. And in the Latin community, and I'm sorry to say this, we lack leaders like this to get the information out. Now I'm talking to Mom. My mom passed away, and she was taken advantage of because she didn't understand the lingo. She didn't understand the language. Forget about my father. He gave up on the whole thing to begin with. But the Latin community can use the information that you guys just shared today with us. Because the Latin community, they sort of say, don't worry about it, I'll get to it. They never do. Never, ever do. Yeah. I didn't even know what a nursing home was till I came to Florida. My nursing home was a television, a sandwich, a soda, and I'll see you later. That's the way we used to do it. You know, you go to Puerto Rico, they still do it that way. So one of the things that I want to do with them is I want to put them on the Latino beat. I want to put the show in Spanish for the Spanish community to take advantage of the information you've given us today, and then some. Because everybody has a different story, including you, including him. Everybody has a parent who has a different story. And yeah, everybody does have a parent, believe it or not. Believe it or not. And it's important not only to deliver the message that you guys do, but to have trust. I think that today's theme is all about trust. You know, you have Barry, you have these guys. It's about trust in what they're saying, that they're going to do the right thing by you. And sometimes we were talking about when you buy a scalp ticket, right? You guys know what a scalp ticket is, right?
Yeah.
They have never ever bought a scalp ticket. Well, Dawn has, because Dawn was at the University of Miami. That's a different story. But they have never bought a scalp ticket because of the trust factor. Well, how do I know I'm going to get in the game? I got to see Willie Mays play his last game as a Met at Shea Stadium on a scalp ticket. On a scalp ticket, because I had to go. I told my mom, man, please, Mom, Dad, I beg you, we got to get in the stadium. The stadium was sold out. It's the trust factor, and you got to feel it before you hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And what I love what you guys are doing is that you touch not only the American Anglo side, you also give the Latino side an opportunity to get right. You know, and it's a sad state of affair, man, when I look. I mean, it's gotten better. It just hasn't gotten home. When we don't know our rights because Spanish is that language, that first language that you have to overcome to do these things. Now, do you guys offer free consultations and things of that nature?
Of course, yeah. We don't charge anyone anything. And it's funny because some people ask that, but no, we definitely don't charge.
It's not funny. There's people out there that do. There are people that charge for that.
And how often can people change plans?
So they can change plans. It depends on their situation, but usually there is a open enrollment for those that have Medicare running from October 15th through December 7th. And also there is another open enrollment that we are currently in at the moment that's running from January 1st to March 31st. So those that have any Medicare needs at the moment, to this day, they can make a decision before the 31st of March.
And then if your plans change or your doctors change, your medication needs change, next open enrollment, I can change my plan again?
Absolutely. We actually recommend to do a yearly revision of your policy because the plan benefits change. Not every single year you're going to have the same copays. So sometimes it's important to check your plan because the better benefits may be offered by another insurance company.
And medications, that Part D,
Correct.
that donut hole, oh my
Correct.
gosh.
Correct.
My parents told me what they pay for one medication.
What the hell is a Part D?
That's your prescription drug. So the coverage that will be allowed in that plan is through Part D.
So you have to have that too.
So
well, it's already baked in the Medicare Advantage
correct.
plan.
And that's
Part D.
and that's where
That's
you
the
ask the question:
advantage.
what is the advantage of having original Medicare versus Medicare Advantage? Medicare Advantage has that coverage for free. You don't have to pay that.
If you're on original Medicare, you have to go get a Part D policy standalone, which you have to pay for that too.
Yep.
If you're on Medicare Advantage, it's already baked in. You don't have to pay for it.
Correct.
It's already baked
Correct.
in.
So if I'm going to turn 65 in February and I'm on group coverage, there's an open enrollment now to take care, because it's 3 months prior, you said, right?
Correct.
So that person will have to do it now, or they could do it 7 months after, but they got to do it. The Part B?
Yeah,
the Part B?
they have to do it. As soon as you turn 65, unless you have what's called credible coverage, which is through your employer,
Right.
then you have to apply for your Part B, or else you're
So
going
if
to
you
get that
still
penalty.
have group coverage, how long can you wait before you have to apply to Plan B?
So you can take the group coverage and stay with the group coverage, because it would count as credible coverage.
As
but-
long as you're working.
Correct. As long as you're working.
Okay.
But the minute that you stop working,
Yeah, when you retire.
or just decide to not take the policy through your employer, then you have to get that Part B, because you will get penalized, and 10% every year is the penalty. So if you go,
So you have to take Part B.
you have to take it. You have to take it.
If you don't have group coverage.
If you don't
Right.
have group
so
coverage.
if you retire in a year, I turn 65 in February, and I'm still working, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
No penalty.
No
now
penalty.
let's say in December I decide to retire, I got to apply for Part
You have a
B right there.
6-month period after that December to apply for your Part B.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
A
Got
lot
it.
of information. How do people reach you both?
Yeah, so by phone, it's 954-614-5488. And then if you're email savvy, you can go through.
Sure. Our email is admin, ADMIN, at allinOnebenefits.com. Our website is www.allinOnebenefits.com. We also are on Instagram, All in One Benefits Group, and on Facebook, All in One Benefits Group. And if you guys have any inquiries regarding your policy, even if you just have questions, you don't have to make a decision. We're here to help. It doesn't cost you anything. So you might as well ask and get it done correctly. Free.
Wow. Thank you so
And
much for
hold
joining
on.
us.
If
Yeah.
I have a plan, I'm 66, I have a plan in play,
Sure.
and I don't like my plan, can I call you to help me change it, or I'm locked in?
Absolutely. You can still change. We're in that open enrollment period right now.
So I can only do the changes in open enrollment?
As of right now, yes.
So
Through
even
March
though I have a
31st.
plan with somebody else for a year,
It
let's
can
say?
still change.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Do you know how big that is? So if you're watching us today and you don't like what you got, and it's open enrollment till the 31st.
March.
What?
Through March.
Through March 31st?
March
Correct.
31st.
Give these guys a call, because maybe you need a change. And you'll look at what they have to see if it benefits them and see if there's something better. Then this is a no-brainer. What's the number again? You got to call. Just get it called and get it checked.
Yeah, 954-614-5488.
Or check out the website, allinOnebenefits.com.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right, thank you so
Appreciate
much,
it.
Charles
Appreciate
and
it.
Nick, All in One Benefits. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more with our Wednesday Hump Day. Let's see what we got cooking on the other
Good
side
stuff.
of this commercial break. We'll
Absolutely.
be right back.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Ever needed a good read? Maybe a book to keep your mind off things. Frank A. Ruffalo is an internationally known author and accomplished screenwriter. He's written many successful novels with amazing stories. Fiction adventures like The Lady of the Harbor, The Trihedral of Chaos, Gabriel's Chalice, 10048, and many more. For more information, visit www.frankaruffalo.com, or you can find Frank Ruffalo on Amazon.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solutions Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
Bright, bold, beautiful. Audrey Omart creates artwork pieces that make a statement in any room. Using ethically sourced material, these handmade artworks are made in collaboration with Divine Higher Power. This unique method gives vision, passion, and energy to every piece. Find Audrey Omart's work at the Brooklyn Cafe Studios or audreynow.com. Audrey Omart, art that opens the heart.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solutions Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Sitting on a park bench one day, you came down and sat next to me. You had my heart fluttering, baby, like a pair of butterfly wings. I seemed to talk for hours about everything we knew. And when you went away, baby, Lord, right then I knew that there's only one woman for me. You showed me things I'd never seen. Oh, baby, you drive me crazy. There's only one woman for me. It's been 2 years, baby. Oh, you're standing there. I see the love in your eyes, wind blowing through your hair. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, the love we shared. And I knew in my heart, baby, none would ever compare. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. Drive me crazy, and there's only one woman for me. one summer day, my darling, you went away. You flew up to heaven, you see, got your own pair of wings. Though it broke my heart, I remember everything you taught. There would never be another woman that could mend his heart. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. Whoa, baby, you drive me crazy. And there's only one woman for me. You show me things I've never seen. Whoa, baby, you drive me crazy. And there's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me. There's only one woman for me.
And we're back. A whole lot of networking going on right here. I love being able to put the whole segment together with elder care, with seniors, wills, estates, trusts, probate, and now you can get Medicare Advantage put together with it.
Ball players.
I can't believe Josh didn't say, let me interview you.
Josh never says nothing. How come you didn't ask him to come on your show?
No.
Well, I took care of that. I'm more than happy to do
That's pretty amazing, right? Nice guys.
Very nice guys. It's, you know, you don't get the whole story, but I before we went on the air, they were talking to me about baseball. What?
A2.
They were talking to us about, they were talking to me about the career and everything else, the ups, the downs, how baseball humbled them. You gotta remember, when you're in high school and you're a superstar and you get drafted, you know, you walk on water and all your friends do everything for you. You know, all of a sudden the guy wants to hang out with the cool
These guys are young.
They're young, but that guy was a superstar. That guy should have made it to the majors. That was that good. The problem is he didn't make it because of whatever. There wasn't enough oomph behind him. But the skills were there. And then the other guy played for the Yankees. Play for the Yankees. Oh, excuse me, play for the Yankees. How would you like to say, oh, I play for the Yankees?
That'd be pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
That'd be pretty cool,
To
yeah.
live that dream for a moment, whatever that moment in time is, to have that for a moment, you
Now,
always have
talking
that.
about that, remind me to call Mr. Baseball today because we have to take him to lunch, I promised. And we haven't done it.
Got a lot of things to do.
I got to put everything on hold. Josh, you remind me. I'll call Mr. Baseball because we have to sit with him. I want to open up, in that ballpark that he's building, I want to do a booth in there for television and video and whatever we have to do.
Bring these guys in.
I'm thinking so.
Coaching, all things you can do.
I'm thinking so. We could set up a community center where you can come and meet the ball players, meet the players, meet Josh. He's a player.
Are we still doing the softball tournament?
I spoke to Stallone.
I was going to ask if you spoke to her.
And I asked her to come in here. The problem with the softball tournament is that we don't have enough players for us to put a team in because not everybody wanted to play.
How many do you need?
But I think
Softball,
they had
you need at least 10.
No, I think they had open spots that you could just play on another team.
Oh, you can.
Oh, okay.
You can. We can ask her. I'm pretty sure if you go there, they're gonna, you know, it's a pick-up game anyway.
Well,
They'll
let's
let
give
you
her a
play.
call today also.
We'll give her a call. She was very busy, but I told her to come down. I was hoping she was going to come down today. There's just so much happening at the same time. There ain't enough time in the day. You know, I need 2 phones. My phone is blowing up as it is right now.
People walk around with 2 phones. But so I was thinking about it because one of the Stallones were commenting on our headshots and everyone loved it. And I was thinking, I wonder what happened with the pink baseball league.
Not only that, I found a pink shirt. Real men wear a pink shirt. It has
It was a long
logo
time
on
ago.
it.
I know, we did that a long
Has a
time ago.
logo on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did we do that?
I'm going to be wearing that bad boy.
I don't know where we did that, but more things to do.
I don't know, but it's a nice shirt. You know who I think it is? The lady that had the the automobile thing, and she did the.
Oh, from Pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the pink shirt on the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Got that one.
So-
With Josie from Black Point Funding.
So get your groove on if you have your Medicare AB already done, or you haven't. Open window is now till the March 31st.
Here's the thing that just blows me away. You're dealing with an elderly population, 65 plus. Now, as we get older, 65 is getting younger and younger. But once you get into 80, 85, 90, you still have the option in open enrollment to change your plans,
Yes,
to
you
get
do.
your plans.
Yes, you do.
But you may not have all of your mental faculties that you used to have when you were 65.
But
and
then you go see
66.
Barry.
And that's what I'm saying. If you don't trust your agent to help you, you can be so taken advantage of. You can lose your money. You cannot have the appropriate funding that you need. The plans. I know my parents just spent for 3 months of one medication, and I said, "Is that normal?" And he says, "Yeah."
Okay, I got a question for Dawn. You ready for this? I got a question. Who would you pick to be your mouthpiece? Who would you pick to be the person that has to make decisions because you can't? Right now, I want to hear a name. I want to hear a name. Who would it be?
I can't tell you.
You
It
can't?
gets complicated.
It gets very complicated. You know why? Because everybody has a different outlook for your life. My son Freddie was going to have me cremated. That's done. Ain't happening.
Yeah, but if you don't have that paperwork done with Barry, power of attorney's done, and you're looking to change your Medicare, and you don't have the ability to do it, and you don't have that right person named, then who's going to be making these decisions for you?
Well, I've
You're
changed
going
all
to be
that.
spending all that money down.
No, not spending no money. No spending no money. You want to go see Barry to get it done so that you write it up and it gets put away in a safe.
Yep.
And not the president's safe, because those guys seem to be
Take it to
dropping
the garage,
bombs all
yeah.
over the place. But you want to get it done. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know, maybe you guys want to be cremated. I ain't being cremated. And I got angry at my son because I said to him, who gave you the right? So he did it on purpose. Check that out.
Had to be Freddie.
It was.
Yes.
You know, there are things that I would like to do. There's a lot of stuff. Everybody has a story, as they say.
Things to do, things to think about.
But these guys, they come in here, you know, they lay that trip on me. I'm at an age in my life where I want people to have the best option. And sometimes you don't have the best option. You think you do. My parents are taking advantage that way. And I got very upset about that because they did it on my watch, and that wasn't right. That's on me. So take advantage. Call these guys. Get done. Come see Barry. Get your paperwork done correctly. And my son Gio's coming into town on Friday, and me and him have a very important meeting this Friday. And nobody knows about it. It's me and him. Gonna have
Nobody
a
knows
night
about it, and everyone else is now listening.
together.
Is
Just
now
me. Well, it's just me.
Katie
and,
wants to come too.
Just me and him are gonna have a sit down about my life.
Yes, Joey's coming.
About my life, because I think it's come to that time where, hey, listen, Sal Bando died. You know who Sal Bando is? You don't even know who Sal Bando is. Sal Bando was the third baseman when the Mets played the Oakland A's in the 1972 World Series. And he was the man. He was the myth, the legend, became a manager and everything else. I gotta tell you, Sal Bando could play the game, man. Could play the game. And to see him move on, it's tough. You know, you see Lisa Marie Presley die. You see the whole funeral thing. People from all over the world flew in for that, to touch the marble. To touch the marble. You know, that, I mean, those are legacies, man. So you never know what can happen. Plan right, live right, and then do what you have to do to make sure everything else is taken care of.
All right, ready to wrap this up?
I'm exhausted. Man, but I got to meet
You got
ball
more?
players.
Oh, I got one last thing.
Okay.
LeBron James is only 178 points away from passing Kareem as the #1 all-time scorer in NBA history.
What year was Kareem?
1960s, 1970s.
I thought Bill Russell was the #1.
Bill Russell has the most champions with 11. He has 11 rings.
Ah.
But Kareem is the all-time leader for points. And LeBron's about to pass that in a week.
I
So
was going to ask you, how long do you think it'll take him to get that?
178 points probably next week.
Really?
5 games,
What's he average a game?
30.
Wow.
So you have 6,
Still doing it.
7
That's
games.
unbelievable.
Still doing it. How old is LeBron? 37?
37, I think, yeah.
That's
it? I remember LeBron's coming out of high school.
Seriously, he's only 37?
I remember him coming out of high school.
Yeah, for basketball players, he's close to retiring age.
He's played, what, 20 years in the league?
Oh, he's 38 now.
He played 20 years in the league? He came out at
He
17?
got drafted in 18,
18
straight
or
out of high
17?
school. Huh?
17, no?
18.
18.
But yeah, he's been in the league for 20 years.
20 years. I remember 20 years ago when he first came out. He was supposed to walk on water back then, and what?
Still is.
What a difficult time it was for him. With all the expectations. You got a kid by the name of Bruce Harper on the Philadelphia Phillies. I was reading Bruce Harper.
Bryce?
Bruce Harper.
Bryce?
Bryce Harper?
Bryce Harper. What do they call him?
Bruce. Bryce Harper.
Harper.
Yeah, he was drafted out of high school too.
I was reading on him when he was 14.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Sports Illustrated. And I picked it up one day, and I wish I had it, because it talked about him, Harper, coming through the majors as a 14-year-old. 14! And how this guy was going to walk on water.
There's a video of him at 15. He's hitting batting practice in a major league stadium, and he's hitting moonshots, 430 feet,
yeah.
home runs at 15.
I saw the video.
Yeah.
I saw the video back then when it happened, because I could not believe the Oakland Athletics had signed an 11-year-old kid. I don't know what happened to him. 11 years old, and they guaranteed him college and everythting else.
What was his ball? Was it 146 miles an hour or something crazy?
No, it wasn't.
Something crazy like that, yeah.
He was throwing, at 11 years of age, he was throwing 90 miles an hour. But the funny thing is, I never heard anything about this kid anymore. But Harper, I read how competitive his dad and him were. How this guy was the next coming of the LeBron James. And he's pretty good, Harper. You know, he's a pretty good ball player.
He's how old?
He's still
35?
fairly young. He's probably 28, 29.
He's that young? Okay.
It's amazing, right?
Hold on.
It's to watch these.
You
kids
gotta
go
live
on.
your dream when you can. When you have it.
He's
to
30
live.
years old.
30.
He's the same age as Aaron Judge.
You push and you go. And
But
push
you know
and
something?
go.
Today I got to meet some ball players. I don't care what level they played at. What was the name of the kid? I couldn't remember the kid that I introduced you to at the gallery that pitched for the Phillies, and he had the Tommy John, and he was my captain of my little league team. Remember?
Yep.
Him and his mom came in. Can't remember his name. I got to get it. But you know, I look at him, and he looks at me, because I used to tell him, "You're going to play in the majors." I didn't know he was going to play in the majors, and he did. He played for the Phillies a little bit, and he blew out his arm getting there, and I just feel that today I got to meet ball players. It's the same feeling I had when I got to meet Muhammad Ali, because I always wanted to meet Muhammad Ali. It's the same feeling I got to meet some of the actors last Friday. I was on a set, Carlito's Way, and that actor was here, and he was in the movie. He says, "Yeah, I remember Carlito's Way. I was in that movie." Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. And it's just a different form of looking at life when you have had a chance to taste all the different wines and all the different things that happen.
Well, that's what I was telling Baxton too, because obviously we went to the concert yesterday, and we walked up to the stage, and he was talking to his uncle and everything. And I was just telling him I love the feel of the atmosphere and everything just surrounding it. I just like standing next to it.
Do you like the feel of that auditorium?
Yeah.
Or did you like the feel of the show?
No, the stage primarily. Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, I got to share with you, I've always wanted to have the stage. I want it so that when you come in here, you feel like it's a Broadway show. I mean, I'm nuts because I want to build a mini stage, and I'm getting pushed back and this, but I want to do it because I feel the same thing. I love the feeling of the theater. Love it. There's nothing like it. And the way and again, you got to go check out the Spanish River Theater. I don't know even the name of it.
Spanish River Church.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It is the most unbelievable, unknown situation, but the cameras, the lights, the screens, the way they did the overhangs. So Gio calls me at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. And he says, are you okay? I go, yeah, what's wrong? He says, you kept sending me pictures and videos of this place. Where is it? And I said, it's here. He says, you never took me there. I says, I didn't even know it was in existence. But man, what a feel. And some of the pictures you get to share, yeah, you and Braxton in one of them, I know you guys sent me that.
Yeah. No, I was going to say we have to do a recreation of Stomp.
Remember Stomp?
Oh, I've seen it once live. It was the greatest thing ever.
I saw it in New York.
It's the greatest thing ever.
You ever seen Stomp? You did?
I did.
With the paints and all
Yes,
that?
I'm thinking it's a little bit messy, but yes.
And they had the colors on and all that. I saw that in New York. I remember when it first came out. You know, I don't remember. I think Stomp started with the paint cans first.
Yeah. I just remember, my favorite part is the brushes. Or the brooms, when they come out with the brooms and they clack and
That was on Broadway.
Yeah. Well, I saw it down here.
I got to see it on Broadway. I love Broadway, man. I loved it, miss it. There's nothing like it in the world. A night out on a Saturday night, it's just the best feeling in the world. It's making things right again, Broadway. And as you could tell, we had some people in here. I would love to have had that group come in here. That piano player, what was her name? Natalia?
Natalie.
Natalie?
Tannenbaum.
She did the whole West Side Story skit in 5 minutes at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And her hands.
Yeah.
And she did the crossover. I mean, Liberace used to do this. You guys know who Liberace is, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I wonder when I talk in here, who the hell knows what I'm talking about?
But it's just been an amazing week, from Pub in the Hub to I got to go to the Onesimus Gallery on Sunday, and then Monday night we got to go to Spanish River Church. It's nice to see things doing what they do.
It's been a good week.
It's been great. Get out there and do what you got to do.
Yes.
We're going to wrap this up. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Tune in tonight. We've got Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Is that what it is? Or we say Sarah
6:30 to
Spiritual?
9, yes.
6:30 to 9. Call in, see what's going on for 2023. Phone number is Sarah S.
1-866-9 Sarah S.
Call into the show and she'll answer your questions. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.